Hi guys, it's me again. Let's see if we can do another pretty holiday ornament. I've been trying to do mostly Christmassy videos recently. You guys probably saw the video. I actually put it up today, Saturday. I actually put it up for today with my little snow people keychains. Those are my giveaways for my Etsy shop right now. So anybody who shops in my shop right now until they run out will get one of those as their free gift. If I run out of those, it will be something else. You guys know, if you shop in my store, I do always give a gift with every purchase. So right now it just happens to be my little snow people. So, or actually, there's actually a couple of different ones. There's a couple of cardinal dominoes and cross dominoes as well that I put in the mix there. So it'll just be one of those that will go into all of my orders. Mostly the snow people, because that's mostly what I made. So for today's video, I am using one of my resin hearts that I poured using this mold. It's just a basic little resin mold, clear. If you're going to do things like this, you want to try and find, if you're using UV resin particularly, you want to try and find clear molds. And this one is considered a clear mold. This way I can take my lamp, because I have a double-sided lamp, and I actually have a new lamp that was sent to me by my friend Susie. Thank you so much, Susie. You are just so sweet. I haven't taken it out of the box yet because I'm working on getting my craft area cleaned up and organized, and so I don't want to take it out until I get this all done. So this is my double-sided lamp, and you can see it lights up on both sides, top and bottom, and then it's got the tray that kind of goes in the middle. So this way I can light it up on both sides, top and bottom, when I pour my mold, and it cures from the bottom and the top, and that is an important time saver. I don't know why I put that there. And so I really love this lamp. This one is one that actually Sherry Lorang sent me, and I've been using it for a while now. It shows its wear, which is good, because that just shows I use it on the daily. I literally use this thing every day. So, unless I have a day or here and there where I'm just not feeling it and I don't feel like I can work, and I take a day off, which is not too often, you guys. It takes a lot to keep me from working. So, I try to keep myself busy all the time, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I don't know. Sometimes people tell me I need to take a break, but it keeps me focused, or maybe unfocused, on other things. So anyway, these are some of the things that I took out to use or possibly use on this. I haven't decided which pieces I'm exactly going to use. What I wanted to do too, I want to make one of these, and I want to use this peacock feather. And somehow I want to get a peacock feather in there and make a beautiful ornament. So I think that would be gorgeous. This is I have this peacock feather and one more. So if this one turns out, I might do a second one later. Actually, I have a couple more back there, it looks like, too. Yay. So we'll see if I like this one. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this in this video, but if I do it, I will make a video on it. So let's get started on this. This one is already made. You guys can go to previous videos where you can see how I make these resin hearts because I've got a bunch of videos out there. Some of them are with my crackle hearts and some are just these plain shiny hearts. So the first thing that I do want to do is I want to get this rhinestone chain around the outside of my heart. So I'm going to take my B7000 and I'm going to go around the whole outside of this because this is going to have to cure for 10 or 15 minutes before I start really working with it. So that's got to be the first thing that we do. So I'm just going to put my B7000 around the entire outside of this. I've got a silicone mat, you guys. I always have a silicone mat underneath me to work on, and let me tell you, it's the best invention for crafters, especially if you do resin work or you work with a lot of these really strong glues and adhesives, because they don't stick to it. You can work right on top of that mat and you're not going to get torn paper stuck to the bottom of your project, which is very frustrating. I did that for many years, and then I'd have to figure out a way to get the paper off of the project. I mean, I could always do it, but then you kind of end up messing up other things, and it's just a pain. So this silicone mat is one of my favorite tools in the toolbox, so to speak. So let me put my cap on this. It's time for me to buy some more B7000. This is my last good tube. Okay, so all I'm going to do is, you see I sat that right down on my mat. I'm going to take my rhinestone chain, and this was a piece that I had, or a couple of pieces I should say, that I had that were cut apart, but I'm just going to go ahead. I need to press that down so I can get that to stick, because in the middle of these hearts, they tend to pop up right at the middle there. In the curing process. So I'm going to press it down so that I can get around this whole thing and not have that chain get underneath it. So I'm pointing all of my rhinestones this way up so that I can see them from the front of the heart. Don't put them so that they're pointing outward. You guys, that's not the way we want it to be, because then you lose part of your design by doing that. So point them up, not out. So let's grab this one, and I'm going to keep pressing in the middle here so that I can get this one in there. And I feel like I need to press that one out a little bit. Get that, it's already kind of gone underneath it a little bit, so there we go. Because I want it to look like one long chain, so I want to get these two rhinestones right here touching, because they have to be friends. And then what I do is I'm going to hold on to this, and I'm going to just kind of go along here. And these chains are forgiving somewhat, because you see how I've got this little space right here? We don't want that. Let me get you guys in a little bit closer, because it's a little hard to see from there. So I've just been pushing it all the way along, and I'll push it, try and get it together. I have a couple more of these rhinestones if I need to add one, but I don't think I'm going to have to. I think they're gonna land perfectly. It looks pretty darn good. And there we go. So now, just to get this drying, I'm going to let this cure a little bit. I'm going to hold it down for just a couple minutes here. I'm going to let this cure for just about 10 or 15 minutes, and then we can start working on the rest of this heart. So I will be right back. Okay, you guys, this is still going for a couple more minutes, but you can see I can move it. I wanted to read something to you guys. You know, I am obsessed with inspirational quotes, little stories, and things like that. I get on reels sometimes on Facebook, and I can just go on and on and on reading people's stories or things that they've written down about their life and their feelings and their pain and their happiness and their sadness and you know, all those different things that happen in life. We all have it. I can't believe that there are any, especially parents out there, that don't experience some heartbreak when it comes to their children and when their children become adults. And so I found this one that really just, it kind of made me cry when I first read it, and I thought, wow, this is just, wow. It's really sad sometimes, you know, when you really, really think about it. But here goes. I'm going to try and read this and not cry. But it's very deep, and I pray for people who are going through this, because to me it's got to be one of life's saddest and hardest things, and yet one of life's greatest things, because our kids are probably the most important thing to us, to most of us mothers, even though they don't realize it. So here's how it goes. No one prepares you for the silence that children leave behind when they grow up. Not the silence of an empty house, but the silence that creeps into your heart. When they no longer ask you what to do, when they no longer seek your advice, when they begin to live without you. And you smile, of course, because that's what you wanted to see them fly. Oh, okay, because that's what you wanted, to see them fly. But inside, something breaks. Because being a mother of adult children is something else. It's biting back your words when you see they're wrong. It's swallowing the urge to call when they don't answer. It's learning to love without invading. It's looking from afar with your hands still and your heart trembling. I'm sorry, you guys, I have to switch pages when I'm reading this. So, with your hands still and your heart trembling. Sometimes they tell you things, but often they don't. And you pretend it doesn't hurt, but it does. It hurts not to be part of everything like before. It hurts to see that they no longer need you, at least not like before. And yet, there you are, putting out their favorite food when they come over. Because deep down, a mother never stops caring. She only learns to do it from the shadows, from a corner, from a prayer. And that's a form of love that no one sees, but that sustains everything. And the moral of this is, being the mother of adult children means accepting that you are no longer the center of their life, but continuing to love them as if you were. Because there are loves that don't fade. They only learn to wait in silence. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, I'm going to cry just reading that. I just think it's beautiful, and it's so true. And it's so hard, you guys. Ugh. So hard being a mom, especially when you get up to my age and you start realizing that you're not needed anymore, you know, and really it's been a long time since I've been needed. You know, my kids are up at their 40s now, so yeah, they really don't need me, and it hurts. It really does. It really feels like sometimes you're sort of forgotten. And I think it almost hurts worse when you see that they are caring and doting and doing all these things for other people, i.e. friends, other family members. Of course they're children. They have to, they're mothers. They're like us when it comes to their children. So that's no different. And I would expect my children to make their children the priority in their life. And that is true. In my kids' worlds, their kids, my grandchildren, are their life. And so that in that respect alone, you can see that you've sort of raised them right when they do that. But it's those other people when you think, gosh, why do they do more with this person than they do with me? Well, at different times in their lives, they need different people, I suppose. That's the only way I can justify it, honestly. But I'm assuming that that's what it is. They just need different people in their lives. I personally, when it came to my mother, I made sure that I went and picked her up on, every so often we had kind of specific set things that we did. You know, sometimes it was, you know, every other week we would go, me and my mom, I would pick her up and we would go thrift store shopping because that was her favorite thing and it was something I enjoyed, so we enjoyed doing it together. So me and my mom did still continue to spend time together for a long time until she got to a point where she was a little too tired to do much walking around thrift stores and stuff. So it was more me going over and having coffee with Mom, you know, and just talking about, you know, what's going on in the world and all that stuff. Me and my mom didn't always agree on everything, but that was okay. We accepted our differences, and my mother stood up for me like no one ever had before and no one ever will. I can say, however, I take that back because I believe my sister, she is my older sister, and my sister absolutely has taken my mother's place in that respect. My sister is a rock. And boy, I don't know what, honestly, I would do without her. We don't get to talk a lot. We don't get to spend a lot of time together. But I hope she knows, and sis, if you're watching this, I hope you know how very, very important you are to me. And how grateful I am to have a sister like you. So, hopefully, maybe I hope you don't watch this one because I don't want to have you see me crying or hear me crying. But it's good. Happy tears, sis. You're the best. My sister's the best. So, thank you, sis. Because you are my person. 100% you are my person. And you always will be. Okay. Stop the runny nose. Oh my goodness. Carol. I know I shouldn't read things like this on my videos, but sometimes I just can't help it. And I think I'm going to get through it. And I don't quite make it, but that's okay. I'm good now. Okay, so this is ready. So you can see it's been about 15 minutes, and it's on there good. They're not going to fall off. So that B7000, amazing. I love it, and I still say I love it more than E6000. So that's just my opinion. And I'm going to stick to it. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to embellish this beautiful piece. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to put my decals on, and these are some decals I've had for a long time that have been cut out, and I've used other portions of them. And so I am going to start, I want this one to go on the edge, and I don't want it to go over into the rhinestones. And I think, let's see, I want it to start right about there. I'm going to lay it down, and I'm holding on to this one corner here because I want to be able to use that corner to pull it up and off. So I'm going to just press this down everywhere else, and I've still got a hold on this corner, and we're going to pull this off, pulling it in a almost a laying down position, so we pull it straight back, not up. So there we go, we got that piece on there. All right, okay, let's see here. This is just some paper. It's got dried flowers in it and all kinds of stuff, but it'll help so you can see what it looks like. There you go. I love these decals, and I haven't bought these blue ones in a long time, and I did buy some other ones, and I really truly wasn't nearly as happy as I was with these when I got them. These are just beautiful. But I need to find them again on Amazon and get some more. And this one I'm just going to kind of overlap it because I do want these to kind of come together. Sort of. I don't want to cover up that one little flower, so kind of like that. Oh, that's okay. That went just to the edge of the heart. So hopefully, it's hard when you have to go over another decal and try and get it off. Sometimes it will want to pull up the other decal, but I got it over enough that there wasn't much there. So there we go. Doesn't that look gorgeous, you guys? Ah, I love it. Isn't that gorgeous? I have a feeling this is going to be a really super pretty ornament. Okay, and then what I was thinking was that maybe I would put a piece of this blue, and this just came off of, I think it was like a little bracelet or something. I don't know what it was, but it was just a piece. Yeah, see, it's stretchy, so it must have been a bracelet. I've had this piece sitting around for probably years now. And it was probably something I got in some Happy Mail and just kind of kept. But I thought the color was nice, and maybe it might be pretty just kind of on a section of the heart. Kind of like that. But then I don't want to overtake the heart with a lot of stuff. And I do have a lot of stuff going on here. I was going to put this on and have it go sort of over here. But, you know, the more I look at that, I'm covering up that. And I really, truly don't want to do that. I don't want to cover up these beautiful flowers here. So I think that is the first thing that's going to go. Which means this will be perfect. Just over on this one side. So the thing is I've got to get it on there and get it to stick. And this is where that new lamp that I got would probably be amazing. But I just don't want to take it out yet. I'm not ready. I don't know how far. I didn't check to see how far I need this glue to come down. So I'm going to try not to go too far. Because this is the hard part. I've got to somehow get this to stay down and hold on until it starts to really stick. So I need to figure out, okay, I didn't get the adhesive on there quite far enough. And it's okay if I come down a little past the rhinestones there, because there will be something going down towards the bottom there, so it'll be fine. And it's already starting to take hold up here, you can see. Because you can see with this twist and turn, it should be pulling more, and it's not. Now over here it is still a little bit, but that hasn't had a chance to start drying much. Part of me says that I want to take it over a little bit. I know I do. Oh, I'm so glad I did that, because I'm going to use this as my hanger, and I don't want those rhinestones in the way of that, so that I can get that hooked down with resin. So that's going to go right about there. So I'm glad I thought of that and moved that over some. I just think this ornament is going to be so beautiful. I'm so excited about it. And I just really thought of it this morning. I was going to make something else. And I saw these bits and pieces and I thought, you know what? I'm going to use that little resin heart and I'm going to do something pretty with it. And I haven't made anything in blues in a while, and I love blue, and a lot of times I end up loving the blue pieces more than a lot of the other ones, because the flowers and stuff are always so vibrant. And you know, I've got a few more bits and pieces. I kind of feel like I want to get something over there. I'm going to be right back. Okay, you guys, I found some more. I went through my decal drawer, and I actually have a decal drawer now, you guys. Yay! That means I'm actually starting to make some progress with my space. And look at all these beautiful blue flowers. I grabbed some of these darker ones too, but they don't really go. So, but I just wanted to grab them just to see. Now these, I could probably throw a couple of these in, but I'm not going to, because again, I just think they're a little bit too dark. I mean, if I do like the one little pink one in there. I do like when there's an additional color. I grabbed a couple of butterflies too, but I'm going to be using some more of these. And usually these, I'm not crazy about baskets. So usually these I will cut the flowers out and use them separately. I just am not a big basket person anymore. I used to love baskets. That one has a little yellow center. These are beautiful. I do like these, and I like these. Let's see, I'm not going to use that one. I feel like I really love these flowers. And what I would do is I would just take it and cut around the flowers here. There we go. And I can even keep that and possibly use it with, you know, with another set of flowers or something. You know, keep the stems and the bow, because it might work out nicely with something else. But I love these two flowers here. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut around these two and keep the ones on top as well, because they're still good little flowers. But these two go with these. So we'll keep that. Put that there. See how pretty this is with the pink and the blue? I love that. So let's see. We're going to pull this up and see, because I have to have the clear behind it. I can't really tell. See, it looks like it's going to fit in there almost. I laid it down. Oh no. Well, it's too late to do anything about that right now, so it's actually in a good spot, thank goodness, but I dropped it on there, and once you drop it down, that's it. But look at that. Perfect. Perfect placement. Yay! Okay. And I have this little butterfly too. I may try and find a spot for it, but it may not, there may not be space for it. And I don't want to overdo it. That's plenty, really, on this heart. It is more than embellished well enough. And I know this kind of looks weird so far with this right here, but it won't. Once we get this done, I want to put this heart right down here at the bottom, and that will be a dangle. But I also made this chiffon rose, and I made this using, I buy these little rolls of chiffon ribbon, and really all it is pieces that they sell from fabric, and they cut them down and then fray the edges a little bit and sell it in packages of, I can't remember if there's 3 or 4. I think there's 3 usually in a package. In different colors that you can use. Sometimes you can get a package of all the same color. I love this white, which is what I used here. There's not all that much in one roll, but I cut these down in half because I wanted thinner strips. So I debated on whether I wanted to use the white or the blue. I think what I'm going to do real quick is I am going to cut a piece of the blue off, and I'm gonna test it just to see. I want to make sure. I feel like I'm going to use the white, but I want to test the blue, and these scissors are horrible. So let's put that in there, get that out of the way. I'm going to find, hopefully, a pair of scissors that will actually cut this. Let me see if it'll just tear. No, this chiffon does not tear. I thought I remembered that it didn't, but I wanted to test it just in case. I do not have a single pair of good scissors in here, you guys. I honestly don't. Let's see if my pretty scissors will do the trick. These are not that great either, but they're cutting better than those other ones did. My problem is a lot of times, you guys, I just buy the cheap scissors over at the Dollar Tree. And that's why I have so many pairs. But then I end up using them on things. It doesn't matter because they go dull really fast anyway. But I use them on things that I probably shouldn't use them on. But I figure, they're only $1.25. It's okay. But then over time, you sure do waste a lot of pairs of scissors doing that. And we will be able to fray this really, really easily. And I probably took a longer piece off than I needed, but that's okay. I'll figure out how much I need. I'm so excited. I'm off tonight. I don't have to work tonight, so that's a good thing. But I am making barbecued baby back ribs for dinner tonight. I'm getting the old barbecue out, and that's what we're having for dinner tonight. I'm so excited. I can't wait. My favorite. I just love them. Okay, so I really wish I had done this ahead of time. But you guys can see chiffon is an amazing, amazing fabric for making these shabby ribbons, you guys, to make tassels and bows and things like that with. It is, in my opinion, the best fabric to use to do that. Okay, so we have two strips here. So I'm just going to take this side here, and you can see it's smooth on one side, and let's use this. You can see it better. It's smooth on one side and frayed on the other side, but look how easy this is going to fray. I'm just going to take it and grab on the edge, and we're just going to pull a little bit. And you can see that. And the thing is it's not cut absolutely straight. It doesn't matter. Don't freak out when you start seeing it pull like crazy. It's okay. You're going to get an imperfect pull. I mean, see how that's doing? But it's coming out all the way down. And then I just kind of take it and try and get all the extra little pieces off of there. Just keep on going until I get to the very bottom and get everything off of there that I want. I've got a hairy mat now. But you guys, this is so easy and almost really satisfying. If you ask me, it's a very satisfying thing to do. And for me, I love a shabby ribbon, a shabby bow, a shabby tassel, whatever. I love to have that shabbiness on my ribbons. So we got the whole thing frayed. That easy. Now, a lot of you already know how to do this, and I'm sure, but some people literally have not done this before, and so I like to show you all, you know, my little tips and tricks for things that I do on a regular basis that you can do and easily do. Hold on just a minute. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and fold it in half. I'm trying to think of how long I made the other one. I think what I did was I folded it twice, and I think I just cut one strip off and then kind of, think just used that much. It seems like that's about right. Yeah, so here, let's do this. We're just going to go in threes and use the whole thing. That way I don't have to worry about it coming out wrong. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to snip that. And whoopsies, snip that loop. Okay, and then we can fray those tips too. That's just going to happen naturally, but okay, so let me pull this over, get these kind of evened out. I'm trying not to have a bunch of the hairs, the fabric hairs on my pad here. I did clean them off initially. So, okay, so we're just going to loop it here. And maybe a little bit longer, so let's go right there. And just tie your bow. Easy peasy. And pull it. darn, this side isn't, there we go. Now it's pulling. Okay, I just want these loops to be even here. Okay. I would like these to be a little bit more off kilter a little bit. I don't want the lengths to be exactly the same, so okay. So let's take this, and I think we're gonna go right about there. And that just did a straight cut, so there we go. Okay, the TV is quite loud, so I hope you guys can't hear it. I can't believe how loud it is. I've got the door closed to this room, and it's so loud. I am a quiet TV watcher. I turn the sound down as low as I can get it when I watch TV. I just don't like loud noise. It drives me crazy. So, but Jeff doesn't hear well, so he's got to turn the TV up to hear it. So, can't blame him. He can't hear. Okay, so try to get those little strings off of there. So there's our blue one, and there's there's our white one. Okay, so they're both beautiful. So let's just see. I have to determine where I want it to go as well. So that's the other thing. So I was thinking I wanted it to go just kind of down here off to the side, which means this may be pointless to put on here, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set it right there. And we'll set this right there. And actually you can still see the little dangle heart. You know, as long as you can still see it and you can enjoy that dangle, I'm totally fine with it. I'm just trying to place things, you guys, and see sort of what it looks like. And then I planned on using these two white paper flowers. These are more of kind of an ivory color, actually. It was between these, and I also had, hang on, I had two, of my other flowers over here. What did I do with them? I don't know if I left them sitting here or if I put them away. But they're also very pretty. Oh, did I put them in here? Maybe? No. I did not. I don't want to lose track of my little daisies there either, so. Oh, there they are. I put them in my little pink chiffon bag. So I've also got these foam ones. These are ones that Deanna sent me, and the reason I like these so much is that they've got little polka dot organza wraps around each flower, and it just adds a little bit. Look at the detail, especially against the blue. It looks very pretty with that blue bow. It shows up a lot. So there's those, and that looks super pretty. And then I was thinking maybe to put something like that in the middle, but that may be just too much. Or we could go with just something like this. This is a button, and I need to snip off the center of this. Okay. This is a very pretty button. My friend Debbie sent this to me over at Bird's Place. Look at, isn't that pretty? She sent it to me in some Happy Mail, and it really is quite pretty. So that could go on there. And then what else did I have? I've also got a little key. I could take and put one of my little antique keys on here. I think I'm really thinking that I'm going to end up going with the white bow though. So I feel like I kind of wasted some of your time making the blue one, but I could take this and put it on this side so that more of that shows up there, and just put maybe one. But let's change gears here. Let's pop the white, because the white one just feels lighter and airier. You know, sometimes too much color just kind of, woo, takes it too far. And this one, if I put my little heart there, and initially I was actually thinking about putting the bow and stuff up a little higher. So let's see what it looks like there. And I know there's people out there saying, Carol, you should be more prepared. You know what? I am prepared. I just changed my mind a lot. Because what looks great to me one minute may not look great the next minute, or I get a better idea, or at least better as far as I'm concerned. I could take that and add that flower right there at the end, and then just have that hang in, because I don't have to see the heart, but it just kind of helps with the transitioning of the blue rhinestones. I kind of like that. And or we could take and we could remove that all together, and we could just put our bow right here. And again, going back to sometimes less is more, and just putting less. I'm trying to separate these, they were stuck. Okay, this one goes over here, this one goes over here. Okay, so if I take this and just put the white bow down there, that almost looks a lot better. I think you guys would probably agree. And then maybe what I could do is take and put the key down here at the bottom. And I could either go, I'm thinking no on that. And I do like these flowers, because these I can make really sit in there. Once I glue them down, I can make them sit really nicely. I really like that. And I really like these too. Let's get the key out of there. I think the key adds a aspect to this that I'm not really looking for. Too much darkness. And I'm looking for light and airy on this. And that key just adds that dark, vintagey aspect that is not necessarily looking shabby chic. It's looking like too much. Okay, so My big thing is deciding on these flowers. And these go nicely because they're a true white, as is the bow. These take it to that more of a creamy white, and it kind of doesn't go. So we are going with Deanna's foam flowers. 100%. I think they look better. And so that's what we're going to do. So I've got a resin this piece on. This is just a little wire, and I got this in Happy Mail. And I think there was a couple of them in the package that I got. I want to say my friend, maybe Lauren, sent me these. I can't remember, you guys. I'm not sure whose package those came in. Or I could take, because I just found them, and I could take and put that at another location on this, because I really do like this. I feel like I want to use it. This might work better as a hanger, though. This is one of my little daisies. Or I could even take, okay, where's my little box? Oh, I got those too. See, I've got more of these. I just love these chiffon ribbons. I love them. Okay. Oh, here they are. Oh, I dumped that one. That was not nice. I've got this as well. I don't want the gold one. I want the silver one. That's a nice rhinestone piece. Not that I am going to use it, but I'll look at it. I'll give it a look. There's that too. That looks really pretty. I'm not sure how I would connect it. I mean, I can connect it with resin. And it's not a real heavy piece. So I don't think I'd really have to worry too much about it being too heavy. I'm trying to get this box to close up here. There we go. Okay, let's see. We've got our little daisy. I'm definitely going to stray away from this. And the only reason I say that is this is like regular wire. And I think this is handmade. Whoever sent this to me, I think they made them. And it's so beautiful, but it is a bit delicate, and I don't want to mess it up, because I really do. I think I might want to use it on here again, but not as a hanger. Okay, so decision made. We're going to use this piece as our hanging piece. It's just a aluminum filigree piece. And so I am going to resin that on the back side of the heart like that. We're going to center it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, how do I want to do this here? I think I'm going to put the glue right on those and very quickly decide where our center is and pop that on there. There we go. Nicely centered. Awesome. Okay, so that's on there. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put some resin right in those holes on this and right across there. Wherever we can see it's going to touch and make contact and be able to hold this thing on there. Oh, I don't think I should have gone right there. I shouldn't have. I gotta wipe that out of that section. I don't know what I was thinking there. Okay, so, oh, come on. And I really kind of don't want to put it, I'm not going to worry about any glue strings right now. I don't really want to put it where the clear heart piece is that is going to be seen from behind that. So, because then it tends to give you that lumpy look, and we don't want that. So, let's go ahead and let this do its thing for just a couple minutes. Okay, you guys, I had one more idea. I know. This, that gets the dark and the light blue together, and look at this. And I didn't think it was gonna be anything that I was gonna want to do. I was just playing with it while I was waiting for the hanger piece to get resined on there, and look at that. And then I'm gonna take and cut a couple more pieces off so that it meets up with this on each side. And isn't that gorgeous? So, I mean, this might have been pretty actually to have just had this going around the whole thing. And had I eyeballed that in the first place, this is some that my friend Kim sent me. She always sends me the prettiest rhinestones, but this would have been pretty around kind of the whole thing. Honestly, look at that. But we're going to use it the way I initially said. We're going to leave that light blue on there, but you guys know where I'm headed with this. I'm going to be making another one, and maybe I'll use this blue on that peacock feather. Won't that be pretty? Oh my gosh, that's a great idea. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip this off right here and here and in the middle here. Okay, so if I take that like that, hook that on right there. Oh, look at that. One of the rhinestones popped out. There it is. It's okay, I can put that back in with a little resin and we'll be all right. Okay, so I'm gonna take, real quick, I'm gonna pop that, I'm gonna just put the resin right there on my mat. And I'm gonna put a drop in the basket there. I can't see if it's gotten in there, and I grabbed it from the wrong spot. It wasn't. Okay. Honestly, I just can't see real well, so I want to make sure that I have that resin in there. So now we're going to take and grab our rhinestone and pop it back in there. Just like that. Ta-da! And I'm going to put my UV light on there, and then we're going to B7000 the rhinestones onto the heart. And we won't have to worry too much about that because it's laying on the top of the heart. so we don't have to worry too much about where it's going to go from there. And that should hold that rhinestone down just fine for now. And we're going to put this around the edge here. Put enough on there so that it's going to stay down and not getting it on the other rhinestones there on the edge, because it's butting up to those, it's not going over them. Okay, so I'm going to do it just like that, and then we're going to be cutting, we're just going to set that down for a minute. Let's get this on here. Oh, what was that all about? Okay, and let's just lay it around there, and it just lays down so nicely. And honestly, let me see. I'm not sure how this is going to go, so I feel like I'm going to snip these couple of pieces out of here. I'll leave that on there, and I'm gonna put this rhinestone right here at the tip of the heart, all by its little self. And then I'm hoping that when I cut a piece of this off, it's just going to fit right in there the way I want it to. I'll put those up there so I don't lose them. Those are very useful. And then there we go. And so I think I'm going to go 2 back, just like that. Just please don't pop the rhinestone out. And that one. So there's where I think it needs to go. And if I need to add one of those little tiny rhinestones in there, I have one that's already off, but I don't, whoops, I put it in the wrong direction, guys. We want it to go this way. Just like that. There. Perfect. Oh, yay, you guys, I'm so excited. You guys can't imagine how happy I get when something works like this. So I can snip this rhinestone off. If I could just see well enough. I'm going to try and snip it off and keep it inside its little cage there. That's not always an easy thing to do. And I'm going to leave that other, let's see, how are we going to do this? I'm not sure how this is going to work, so you guys, I'm going to be playing around with this piece because this is going to get a little tricky. But my mind usually finds a way to work these things out. So we're going to put our piece in right here. Let me get the glue off the tip of this thing. Okay. is I've got to get a blue rhinestone. See, we're going to go like that. And I've got to get a blue rhinestone right in there. Or should it be... I feel like I need a blue one. So we're going to just go ahead and cut one more little section out here. Try and do it without losing the cage again. And then we're going to take... actually, I'm going to leave that on there. I'm going to snip that piece off. And I want the clear rhinestones to come to this edge here. Somehow, I got to take one of these rhinestones off because I'm going to have to place it a little differently. That's okay, because I need to get this blue one up inside there, and there's only one way to do that. Oh, look at that. And then I'll just put the clear one in there. Awesome. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is just working. This doesn't happen for me too often, where it just kind of does what I wanted it to do without me knowing if it's even possible. But see, we got that one in there, and we need one more clear rhinestone right there. And I'm going to grab one of these that I know is in its cage well. And we're going to just pop that right there. I might need two of them. I think I do. Yes. I actually need two of them. So here's the other one. And there we go. Look, you guys. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And now I've got all that sitting here waiting for a beautiful peacock feather one. And I am going to do that for sure. Okay, so next, let's see. I might just put that off to the side a little bit. Like, let's see. Let's put this on first. I want to get this bow on. And we're just going to hot glue this on. You guys, this is going to be the prettiest ornament on a Christmas tree. And I am selling this one, so I am not going to keep it for myself. Okay, so that's on there. And I did pull this little piece out. I got some of these from Happy Mail, and they're awesome because they're a nice small size, and you can stick them in the middle of a bow, and they're not like crazy overpowering. So I thought maybe I could use that, or maybe I could just go like with this rhinestone piece. It's an earring. I don't know. I still feel like maybe just the two flowers is where I need to stick to my guns here. Or I could go like that. That's very pretty. I don't know, you guys. Yell at me. Or we could just take and put that down there. That looks pretty too. But I still kind of feel like No, we're definitely not using that. I did take out a couple of my butterflies as well. But the idea behind that was to have either this or a butterfly. A butterfly could go right up in the corner like that, and that looks really beautiful as well. This just takes it down a notch and makes it not so crazy. And I really love that, so I want to use it. The other thing I did take out was some of these rhinestones, and I thought maybe I would place a couple of these on here. So let's just get busy here. Let's get these on. I am going to resin this. So first things first, I'm going to put a little dot of hot glue and place it right there. Just like that. Gosh, isn't that gorgeous? Look at how beautiful that looks on there. It's just, you can kind of hardly see it, but when you're looking at it from my point of view, oh my goodness, it just looks so delicate and just like it was meant to be there. Like it's like it's just meant to be. Okay, so, and then I might use a couple of those too. I really like those rhinestones. I might actually cut a couple more of those off. Just to place instead of these, because those are AB rhinestones. And maybe I don't want AB. Maybe I just want the clear rhinestones this time. And we're going to go one more section. I'm sorry, you guys. I know this little bit of cutting and stuff does take up some of our video time, but I'm not gonna not do it just because it takes a little extra time, because I really think it's gonna make a difference. So this, I feel like I'm just gonna put, let me decide if I want 1 or 2 flowers. And I know those butterflies would be really, really pretty on this, but at the same time, they are kind of big, and they will take up a lot of space. I wish these were a little flatter sometimes, but sometimes if I press them in just right, they kind of do flatten down a little bit because they are foam. So there we go. That's on there, and that looks gorgeous. Look at that. And see, you can see the little polka dots in the organza there that's on that. Now we're going to take, and I'm going to squeeze a little bit of my, you guys can't see this, I'm squeezing a little bit of resin off to the side here on my mat. I want to poke this in the glue so I don't dry it all out. Okay, now I'm going to take this little skewer and I'm just going to dot it in that resin, and I'm going to put a couple of rhinestones in a couple of places. Oh, let's see. I'll just I want to get good placement on these too, so I don't want to have it all mishy-moshy all over the place. And then one up in there. So, for now, I think I'm going to need more rhinestones, number one, first and foremost, I can tell. Because I think I've already put more resin dots down than I have rhinestones. That's okay. I can always cut some more out. I want you there. Actually, I've got these dark blue ones too, so I might be okay. And let's see, where do we want this one to go? Maybe right here. That looks very pretty. So, so, so pretty. That one looks like it might be coming away from the cage, and we don't want that for sure. One, and I think this one's okay. Now that I look at it, I think it's all right. And this one, we need to move just a tad. And that looks very, very pretty, I think. Isn't that gorgeous, you guys? And I think I just have to. I think I'm going to cut one more section out of this. Okay. And I'm going to put a dark blue one there. And let's see, we'll go with the light blue one in that one. Right there. And let's see, one more. Let's go ahead and go right in the center of this beautiful rose. Right there. All right, that's plenty. We are good to go. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous, you guys? And I'm not going to resin over the top of this time. Not going to do it. We don't need that. We don't need that. I was thinking about putting a piece of rhinestone something off to one side. I don't think it would be that one though. Let's see. Something small. Not that. Oh, I've got to put my lamp on this. Wow, I almost totally forgot. Let me go ahead and, oh, I need to put some resin right on that. Just let that kind of drizzle down in there. And maybe I'll just use one of these little rhinestone teardrops. Right now we're going to leave it alone. We're just going to put that in there and let those rhinestones get baked. And I don't think we're even going to worry about putting anything else on there. I think we're going to leave her the way she is. I don't know if one of these would look good or not. Just to kind of have sort of in the middle of those rhinestones up here. Like right there. It's not necessary. Nope. Okay, let's get that back in there. Let it finish baking and curing, and I've got thread everywhere around here. I was sewing some of Holly's toys back together because she tore them up and pulled the stuffing out, so I've been doing some of that. Making flowers for my friend Kim. I'm trying to get those done, and I feel terrible because it's taking me forever to get those darn flowers done, but I just want them to be right, and I'm just afraid that they're not going to be. She's such an amazing crafter, you guys, and I don't know why, but I always feel like maybe my stuff's not going to be good enough. Kim, I really do feel that way. I'm sorry, hon. I just love your work. You do the most beautiful work. And sometimes I feel like maybe mine is not as good as yours. So I worry when I make something for you. Now that looks good. This is just one of those little clear butterflies that I got from the Dollar Tree. I got to put it on a spot where the flowers are not quite as spectacular. And this is just a sticker, you guys, but it's super pretty. Oh, it needs to come over just a little bit because it's right. It's on top of that rhinestone, and that's not going to work. Come on, Carol, use your brain. There we go. There we go. Okay, now it's not sitting on top of anything. Okay. There we go. Isn't that gorgeous with that butterfly on there? I don't think you guys can see it as well as I can. It's just, it's more silvery than really all those other colors. It looks more silvery when I'm looking at it. So the last thing we do have to do here, you guys, is I got to get my ball chain out here. And of course, it's in another space. Hold on just a minute. Okay, guys, got my ball chain. Everything's all resined in there, so we're ready to go. We just need the ball chain, and I'm going to use that as my hanger because I like to use it, and I can make this any length I choose. And I do want to make this a little bit longer so that it will hang nicely on a tree branch. I think that should be nice, and I'll let you know how long that is. I eyeball everything, you guys. I don't measure really anything. I do things to my preferences. Where my eyeball sees something should go is where it's going to go. So that's just the way I do things. I don't measure hardly anything. So if you guys notice that, I don't usually give measurements for things because I don't do things that way. So I forget that you guys may want measurements. So this is 8 1/4 inches long. You could go make it 6 inches, you know, however you guys want it to be, however long you think you might want it to be able to fit around a branch. You know, whatever works for you. I need to put this in here. These are the fasteners. I buy this ball chain just like that on a spool, and it comes with, wow, this is a rough fastener. Comes with, I think, 100 fasteners and a lot of ball chain. So you can make necklaces, you can make bracelets with it, you can, I mean, the sky's the limit to the number of things you can make with this stuff. And I love it, and I always keep some on hand because it is something I use a lot of. So it's very easy to use, very easy to cut, and safe. And sometimes I just like using this more than I like to use ribbon or things like that. So that's just my preference. Again, some people would want to use ribbon as their hanger, and that's great, or string, you know, embroidery thread, you know, you can use whatever you want. Guys, don't think you got to use whatever it is that I use, because I don't always use what the average Joe does. I tend to do things a little bit differently than the average person does. And so, yeah, sometimes you may not agree. So let's go ahead, let's put this piece of felt behind it, because you can really see it with that color behind it. So that's what we have, you guys, this beautiful, beautiful ornament. And I will take video of it hanging. Now, what do you guys think? The more I'm looking at this, I feel like it really does need something hanging from it. And I do have this, which will hang nicely between, yes. Yes, yes, yes. It's got gold chain on it, but I don't care. I just know the minute I saw it kind of poked up there, and I can't believe I didn't check on that before. I'm gonna try very carefully. I'm gonna glue this on, and then I am going to resin this earring. This was an earring that came from Temu. For me, it came from my friend Robin. She sent me Happy Mail, and in that Happy Mail was some pairs of earrings from Temu. And what she does a lot of times is she'll place an order with Temu and have it sent straight to me. And she's just the sweetest. She does this for me quite often, and how blessed am I that I've got her and other subscribers that have done so much for me in that way. You guys, I wouldn't have nearly the beautiful things that I have to craft with if it wasn't for people like that, who have shared their generosity and their supplies. Sometimes it's from their own supplies in their craft room. But a lot of them, they literally will make an Amazon order and they'll send me some stuff. So I am blessed, truly, truly blessed to have so many people that have helped me, because I know they know that I don't have, you know, necessarily the means to just go out and buy thousands of dollars worth of supplies to continue a YouTube channel. Just not possible for me. At this juncture, I'm on Social Security, and that's just the way it is. But they've been very generous to me, and I'm so lucky, and I'm so, so, so blessed that I've got so many people that have been willing to share their goodies with me, and I thank each and every one of you. I need to put my list together, and I need to pop that list up on every single video that I do. And I, by golly, am going to get around to doing that and making sure that the whole world knows that I have been blessed, and that this, honest to goodness, wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for you guys. And, you know, for those of you that watch the ads that pop up, you know, that's probably the biggest means of my income is those ads. And you guys, you know, I know some of you watch them, some of you don't. Some of you pay to not get ads. So, and I get it. I totally get it. But, you know, that is how we YouTubers make our money, is through those ads and things. So it's a blessing to me when you guys actually watch them. So you know, when I'm watching people's videos, I will watch the ads, and, you know, and honestly, I've come across some pretty cool stuff in that process. I've found some things that I could actually use. So, yeah, so it's all good. So there we go. We've got our little hanger. Maybe if I do this crossways here. There we go. You don't need to see the ball chain. There we go. So that's what we have, you guys. Isn't it gorgeous? Let me back off just a tad. Just a wee little bit. Whoa, not that much. Oh, well, that's okay. There we go. So that's what we've got today, you guys. Thanks a lot for watching. God bless each and every one of you. Stay safe, stay well. Love your family. Hug them, squeeze them often. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to all of you. I say Merry Christmas, but I know a lot of you are celebrating other holidays. And I just hope that all of you are as happy and joyous as you can be for the holiday season. And I will see you in the next video. God bless. Love y'all. Bye-bye.